Dear readers, during these times of so much turmoil and confusion, our hope is that these messages will bring information and encouragement. Do not become discouraged, for present times are the very reason you chose to be on earth at this time. The shift that so many have hoped and prayed for has begun, but does not look like so many expected it to look. This is because they were imagining it with three-dimensional concepts of what a perfect new world would look like. All the bad guys would be removed and all the good guys would live happily ever after with no problems. Release any remaining concepts you may still hold regarding the Earth's ascension and allow the process to unfold as it must. Many old and well-established three-dimensional creations must first surface in order to be seen and recognized for what they really represent before the majority can be aware of, reject, and stop energetically feeding them. This is a process, but as maps point out, you are here. This will continue for a while, and there is more to come. Stand centered in your highest spiritual realization as an observer, but one who is open to helping as needed. Some are being guided to take an active role, while others are to simply hold the light. Neither is more important than the other, but both must be done without ego involvement. Follow your intuition, listen, trust, and know that you are always being guided. We see many changes coming soon, and more to be revealed that is not yet energetically ready for manifestation. Do not be shocked and upset when people and issues begin to be exposed for who and what they represent. You are prepared and have had fair warning, but some information will be shocking to those still living in old energy. You may be called upon to reassure and assist those unprepared for information and change. It can be a time of celebration if you allow it to be, and if you are able to let go of concepts about how everything should or shouldn't look. The journey toward a higher resonating planet Earth has begun, and no amount of interference from those seeking to uproot the process can stop it. Much of today's chaos is the activity of those who do not want the world to awaken into a new level of awareness, for that would mean they could no longer manipulate and control. However, they are running out of options, for the light has spiritual law to uphold, maintain, and sustain it, whereas false beliefs and concepts do not. As one's personal consciousness becomes more enlightened, they begin to access and resonate with previously unavailable higher dimensional frequencies because they are now in alignment with them. This in turn results in M's alignment with some other things like certain foods. Avoid processed, junk, and false foods no matter how delicious and healthy the packaging tells you they are. This also goes for fruits and vegetables poisoned with pesticides, picked long before ready, sometimes even color, and then displayed beautifully for purchase. Choose foods that more closely align with your energy and trust your intuition as you shop. The sky is not going to fall down if you eat something of a lower resonance, but you will feel better and your energy will be supported when you choose higher resonating foods. New energy levels will also cause some entertainments, TV shows, books, and activities to no longer resonate with you as they once did. Family and friends who remain in alignment with these things will not understand why you are choosing to no longer fully participate, and may interpret your lack of interest as personal rejection, frequently bringing about discord and misunderstanding. It can be a loving gesture to continue participating when something no longer important to you is very important to another, but never surrender your integrity or personal power in order to please others or fit in. Do not allow pressure from others or a desire to keep the peace cause you to slip back into places you have outgrown or cause you to believe that there is something wrong with you. It is never a question of wrong or right. It is simply a matter of energetic misalignment. Never surrender your innate power as a divine being, but at the same time be alert to avoid resistance on your part that can easily slip into being an ego game that becomes about the three-dimensional sense of power. Walking on eggshells in order to please another must cease if a person is ever to experience their own innate power. There are situations and more coming in your life when you will simply and without regret or guilt step away. Always stand in your spiritual integrity, power, lovingly but firmly without making mountains out of molehills in the false belief that you must stand your ground regardless. That simply gives power to some person or activity that in and of itself has no power. Power is never personal, bestowed only on a select few. God alone is power, and that power flows in, as, and through you from source within. It is your birthright. Ego, or the sense of a selfhood apart from God, never has or ever can have real power, although many continue to claim it for themselves, and appearances may look that way. Because a physical body is necessary for three-dimensional living, you are limited in some ways and often under the influence of collective thought. As truth increasingly becomes your attained level of consciousness, many three-dimensional concepts will fade away, allowing you to actually experience increasingly more qualities of divine consciousness that were previously just intellectual knowledge. Once a truth becomes your realized state of consciousness, you are no longer in alignment with commonly accepted but false beliefs about it. You will begin to notice that you often know or act without conscious thought, and it turns out to be the perfect action for the situation. You begin to automatically know what foods your body needs and what activities are right for you. Synchronicity happens, and things begin to fall into place easily and without effort. The right people come into your life at the right time. The harmony, completeness, wholeness, and intelligence of your own realized consciousness is expressing through you without personal effort. You are allowing rather than trying to make it happen. Being rather than doing. Lecturing, preaching, or punishing the unawakened never brings about lasting change, for every person is only capable of living their attained level of consciousness until they can open to their next level, which usually comes about through experiences. Jail or prison, counseling, and intense experiences all have potential to awaken someone if they are receptive. But higher awareness can never be forced on another. Never fear or resist allowing certain people to fade out of your life if they are choosing to remain in old energy and you find yourself no longer in alignment with them. It is not your job to save anyone. That is the person's own job, for every person has a higher self and guides. Your work is to have your hand out and available at all times should another choose to grab it. But it is never to reach down into someone's personal gutter and pull them out without their consent or desire. Their situation could very well be a planned part of their evolutionary journey. Always allow intuition to guide you in these situations, for a person may actually be seeking help but not seem that way, while another may simply want you to further enable them. Awakening happens when the higher self determines that a person is ready, and high-frequency energy and current events are serving to shift many into readiness. A new wave of energy is coming very soon, one that will expose and change many things. Your awakened consciousness will draw to you those ready to hear what you can tell them about what is happening personally and globally. Love is the core and essence of all things because it is the energetic connection of the many within one. This interconnecting energy exists between all living things, but has been falsely interpreted by the three-dimensional mind. The result has been a multitude of commonly accepted beliefs about love, attraction, emotion, sex, possession, as well as some very negative ones. Current conditions are forcing many for the first time to begin experiencing a sense of oneness. You are witnessing the birth of a higher sense of love in collective thought, as the virus and isolation puts everyone in the same boat, so to speak. Because there is only one, love embraces all life, regardless of skin color, sexual orientation, age, race, wealth, looks, or anything else that has throughout history served to separate people. Love is the innate knowing, consciousness that all things are connected. Relationships of all kinds start with some sort of sense of oneness, goals, likes or dislikes, interests, attraction, etc. but are experienced according to the state of consciousness of those involved. Frequently, a sense of oneness comes from having been connected in some way to another person in previous lives, which then manifests in this life either as attraction or repulsion, depending upon previous relationships. Most heterosexual as well as homosexual partnerships take place between two who have become very close through previous shared lifetime experiences. As the reality of pure love integrates and becomes a person's attained state of consciousness, they automatically and without thought or ego-driven goal begin to respond to all life situations from a place of love because they have become love. Always remember, you are consciousness. All is proceeding according to plan. Trust. Allow. Love. The train has left the station. Thank you for watching. Peace with you.